gonna tell you right now, you are Australopithecus Cro-Magnon rock stupid. You're Down syndrome. I don't give a You do not understand that your literacy level needs to be brought up from the Mariana Trench, and you have a issue with your intelligence. When the bites come and the ants come at me, it'll take 10,000, 100,000 of them to take me down. So that's how minuscule you are to my size, right? My stature of intelligence, character, body, and reverence in the world. 1K is better for this pussy who doesn't want to give away his millions. Are you Jewish?
Psych! That's the wrong number!
What you just witnessed is the voice actor for Gumball from The Amazing World of Gumball, and he basically was off his rocker drunk in an Uber, calling the Uber driver regarded, calling him the other F word, and basically just going balls to the wall crazy. And some way, somehow, Dream ended up being in the same Uber, and he was in the back seat, also getting berated by this voice actor. And now, months later, Dream decided to post this video to Twitter to say that this voice actor guy is a piece of garbage. And what's funny is that everyone on Twitter basically turned around and told Dream, you're a weirdo for recording this, you're weird, why would you have this? By the way, isn't this voice actor technically under the age of 21? And in the video, he's drunk, he's sloshed. Why aren't you taking care of him? Why aren't you respecting his youth? Why are you such a weirdo? And it was pretty funny to see that because people online don't like Dream, they just sidestepped the fact that this guy was basically a weirdo drunk who was on an egotistical trip and essentially are just ignoring every fact or any context just to basically take a dump on Dream. At the same time, I think it's kind of funny that Dream was like, I'm going to take a break from social media. I can't take this anymore. This is terrible, blah, 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 DDD. And for me, I think it's really funny whenever people online on the internet take individuals seriously, especially on Twitter. Like on YouTube, you could possibly get to the point where you have dislike or people who are outspoken in terms of your hate. And it might be a little bit daunting because there's a face, there's a voice, there's some type of entity behind it. But on Twitter, I literally look at them as NPC bots because there's opinions and information on Twitter that if you really believed it, you would be afraid of the world that we live in. But much like what Dave Chappelle said, Twitter is not a real place. It's not a real region. It's not real people. And for me, I feel like the idea of Twitter being not real, like literally just made up people, is so strong because in no universe would you ever hear of someone who is a self-described map. MAP is something that stands for minor attracted person. It's basically a 21st century adaptation of NAMBLA. NAMBLA, the North American Boy Loving Association. No, I'm not joking. That's the name of the organization. And you'll see a lot of people like that on Twitter where they're like, you know what, if you're attracted to minors, you know, it's not a big deal. It's a sexual orientation. Don't judge me. And things of that nature that doesn't exist in the real world, but is very apparent and very heavy on Twitter. Same thing on Twitter where you'll see like random racism or you'll see random ridiculously like lib-left, genderqueer, pronoun plus, ultra omega Shenron talking points. And you have to look at it and ask yourself, are these real people? Are these Twitter bots? Are these individuals that are actually discussing ideas with each other? Or is this simply just a shit throwing match between two bots? And I think the thing that's very important, especially when you actually invest time online and whether it be arguing with people, reading content, or just spending time online, I think it's very important when you engage with these type of people, quote unquote, it's very important to not look at the person, but rather look at the content and look at the information. Because there's a lot of times where I've seen things online where sometimes I'll see a point or an ideology shared that I don't agree with. I don't care who the user is. I don't care what kind of context there is from whoever's saying it. I'll just respond to the ideas. And I've had in the past where people literally have pulled the ye old trolling trick where they say something stupid, they say something ignorant, and then you basically provide points and information. And because I'm a real human being, I'm not a bot, and I actually have some context added to it, it's convincing, it's intelligent, it's moving. Me saying that you should not be attracted to a minor and giving points as to why that's actually a good thing as opposed to being quote-unquote oppressive will then have them say, I was just trolling the whole time. LOL, I'm trolling. LOL, I'm not a real person. LOL, you just wasted all your time. At the end of the day, if you go against the point, if you go against the information as opposed to the messenger, I think it's a lot more easier to navigate these disgusting waters of online discourse. And I also think it's very easy to be biased, and it's a lot easier to be not biased if you just look at the content. If someone posted a video of Dream being racist, saying the R word, saying the other F word, basically going on a drunk tangent talking about how he's so amazing and so much better than everyone else, they would literally come out with pitchforks to say that Dream is a piece of garbage and needs to be deplatformed in some capacity. But because this guy is a voice actor for The Amazing World of Gumball, which is a great show, it's a really good show, they're like defending him. They're like, I don't like Dream anyway. It's some type of weird scenario where you're actually looking at it, where it's like teams you need to root for. And if Dream is out there, if he somehow is one of the 5 viewers that see this, Dream, Twitter people are not real people. These dudes will literally be on there talking about they attracted to kids as if they're part of the world around us. They exist only in Twitter the same way Agent Smith only exists in the Matrix. They not real people. You got so much money, you got so many masks, why would you care what randos on the internet say?
At the end of every single video, make sure you ask people to rate and subscribe to your content. It makes them feel like they're involved even though they're really not. And most importantly, make sure they comment on every single video. If you have to, disguise it. You know, call it something like the question of the day. And really make them think you're gonna really read it when you really don't have to. Ha ha ha!